Already pressed it. Yo, what's
Hey,
good? Hey, how's up,
hey,
everybody? I was just telling Jason, like, wouldn't it have been funny if we were live this entire time?
right. Y'all missed all the behind the scenes stuff.
Honestly, low key, I should have pressed it when he wasn't looking. I really should have pressed it. Like, it would have just been an interesting conversation, and then Jermaine would be like, "What the hell is he talking about?" Anyway,
And I missed
so
all of it because my computer restarted. So.
yeah, technical issues. But welcome back, everyone. Happy holidays. I hope everyone had a wonderful Christmas if you celebrate it. My name is William. I got Jason and Keith. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. Like, we're going to go over like a lot of new stuff. And, I think, wait a minute. Keith, you got to say the words. You got to say the words.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
For every other vote,
I mean, I just want to know what we're going to be ready. Oh, wait, we're going live.
Here we are. Welcome once again to Trekkers the Light.
Like, literally, my mic falls down just as we go live. Hi, everybody!
why is that person not even moving behind you?
That's what you're paying attention to?
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh my god, no.
Love that baseball and the teacup, like clearly TNG DS9 fans. So.
Which was a nice touch.
The most.
The most.
No, everybody, this is actually one of the main screenwriters for Prodigy, so we are super excited to hear from you. And
No one
also,
listened.
I'm a little embarrassed for being this critical.
Man, I really love that intro.
So a lot better. Because remember before I was always complaining, and like it was too long. I guess just because it was just like subtitles and stuff like that going on. And we live in a world where people don't really do subtitles anymore. They just get to it. I like that because it's real personable. Shows all of us in there.
I'd say people do subtitles more often now than they did before.
You think so? I feel like
Oh,
people, I feel like when you see a movie, they get right to the action, like right at the beginning.
No. Subtitle, you mean opening titles. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I did say subtitles.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah, subtitles
yeah.
is something completely different.
Right. I was
Yeah.
like, what are we talking about again?
Considering like Nolan's Batman trilogy, the Dark Knight trilogy, does not have opening credits for any of those movies.
They don't?
They don't. There's just like a bat symbol made out of bats or clouds. That's it. There,
How do we know who made it and what's in it and who's in it?
No,
I guess
no
I
crew,
think
no cast, no
I guess
cast,
they
no
could.
director, no writer. They have the production, and then they have, right into it.
Hey, the best I have is like a grip or a gaffer credit, and so you won't see that until you get to the end of the movie and halfway down the credits of 1,000, 2,000 people. I might be there.
Cool.
Do you know what's crazy is that this new intro is actually 30 seconds longer than the last one?
But it doesn't feel as long.
Right. It doesn't feel as long because it's like I really want, like, the music is nice, but then I noticed over the last 2 years ish that the music, as good as it was starting to sound like background music that we just let hear as we're getting ready for the show. Like we're not fully embraced anymore. And then that's why I was just like, okay, I want to hear from everyone that is still active on this show today,
Right.
So that's why I got
Did you? Who made the one before that? Did you make the one?
No, it was
before?
me. It
Where
was,
did you
I mean,
get that footage from?
I used I was subscribed to Storyblocks or
Mhm.
Story. Yeah, it's that royalty footage and music website, and I got the song from there and the footage from there. And then I put it all together. Well, it started to become a problem because as good as it was, the subscription ran out. And when the subscription ran out, it started saying that we couldn't post this on Facebook because Facebook was detecting copyrighted material.
Mm.
And so, taking all of that into account, I decided to take the same footage because I couldn't help that the old footage was stolen anyway, and so I just recovered what I could. But that didn't solve the original problem. The original problem was, how do you make a new intro with the same material without getting boo booed by Facebook or YouTube? So what I did was I changed the pitch of the song. If y'all could
Yeah,
hear it, it's a
yeah.
higher pitch.
The math is different. The computer can't detect it. Yeah, smart.
Can't detect it.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
smart cookie.
I wanted to cover as much as that Astro footage as possible. So I took us and made it full screen, you know.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
that and from since then I haven't gotten any notifications saying, hey, this is some boo-boo material, take it down. Like, and it wouldn't mute us or anything, it would just like mute us in like certain countries type stuff. But I don't want the page to get any boo-boos at all. So
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's somebody in Cambodia that might want to watch.
Well,
yeah, or Kenya or something.
Or Kenya.
well, there was the app over a year ago that you could take pictures and turn it into people singing.
Oh,
And I made a bunch of them to help promote my Fleet and Star Trek timelines, and would put them up on the Facebook group that all the players were in. And I would get dinged for copyright because it would be the music that you could use through the app. Some of the songs would get dinged and it would end up getting muted.
right.
So you would just have these Star Trek characters singing. You just couldn't hear what they were singing.
Right. I actually wanted to bring up one more thing before we got into today's topic. So, Jason, it was about so long ago, and please forgive me, but you invited me to get on VR to play that Star Trek game with you.
I did.
Yeah. So I'm totally down to play, and I got 2 others that have VR headsets that also want to play. So we have a little crew, you know. Like,
All right. Well, I'm going to Jersey tomorrow, and I'll take it with me.
okay, bet. Cool.
But I don't know how much time I'll have the next week because me and my girlfriend both have off work.
Okay.
So that's like might be some catching up time. Although it's winter time, it's not like we're gonna be going to the beach or whatever. But
Right.
but you know how she came here before the holidays, right before the holidays. But it's always so stressed. It's like you don't have really time with each other. I mean, you have time with each other, but you're always doing stuff constantly.
Right.
You prepare for the holidays, do the holidays. You know,
Speaking of the holidays, how was everyone's holiday?
mine was great. Just, like I said, it's always a little stressful just because you have so much to do. But we have like a family sing along on Christmas Eve. We sing songs and stuff like that, and then Christmas, exchange presents, see all the family. You know,
Okay.
it's good. So we have New Year's Eve. So I lived in New York, New Jersey
Mhm.
area for like 9 years. Never saw
Mhm.
the ball drop. So
Never.
we're gonna go see the ball drop this year.
Okay.
My only question is, where do we pee? And I've been looking this up, and everybody's wearing Depends. People they go out there and they wear Depends because there's nowhere to go to the bathroom.
Wait,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm quite serious.
Well, there is places, but they're very, very difficult to get to, and they get full quick. And pretty much, you got to spend the whole of the 31st there if you want a spot. Like,
Right, you got to get there. If you want to
hour.
get anywhere near that ball, you got to be down there 12 hours early.
Yeah.
And
I
hang
was-
out all day.
I was down there New Year's 2012, and my ex had surprised me with a trip up to New York City. I was getting ready to catch a train south and ended up meeting her at the train station going north instead.
Mhm.
And even though we were in New York City for New Year's, we went out to a bar in Williamsburg rather than to go anywhere near Times Square.
Hmm.
And we stopped by Times Square the next day, but it was just like, no way are we going anywhere near it on New Year's Eve.
Right.
Yeah, and I always never wanted to do it because the idea of being out in the cold all the time, I'm just not a cold person. That's my kryptonite. But unless I'm working a job, you know. But first of all, this year just turned out to be pretty mild, and I just figured I got to do it at least once. You know, why not do it with my wife to be? It's gonna be the only time I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For Christmas, I pretty much just spent like a little bit of time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I woke up at like 10:30 or 11:30 or something like that, and then I started binge watching The Good Wife on Paramount Plus. I'm on season 3.
Never
and
seen it. Never seen it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it has its moments.
I should say this is time you could be watching Battlestar Galactica.
Or you could be watching Prodigy on Netflix.
That's true because it did come out on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Along with because I know I'm gonna see the Color Purple remake tomorrow night. I'm gonna see that.
Saw it.
And
How was it?
yeah,
It was a good movie. My only problem is I really do like the original a lot.
Okay.
So I'm comparing it to that, and I think the high points for me for the original movie didn't deliver as well in this movie. Like the high points, like
Well,
the most emotional points for me in the movie didn't sell that emotion as well in this movie.
yeah, kind of like the part where she stabbed across the table, saying, "Am I talking to you? Was I talking to you?" Like,
Yeah, that part, the part where he kicks Nettie out the house,
wasn't as strong as
wasn't strong at all.
Yeah.
And the part where Suge goes back to her father, and she sings, guys. So, but I would say go see it though.
No, it's a whole musical. It's a musical.
It's a musical now. Yeah, they start out with the music.
I learned something, and we'll jump right into it. I learned something about the original Color Purple.
Mhm.
So the director told, told the young actresses, "Hey, he's going to try and separate you for real, for real. We know it's in the script, we know it's in the book, but he's actually going to try everything he can to separate you two. You two need to hold on like it's your. Don't let go because it's in the script. Let go because he's forcing you to." He really did take a rock, and he really did smash their hands with it, and he really did yank them apart. So
Yeah.
and then that's that method acting that I feel like we're starting to let go of because
Well,
I heard
they would
that
never
too.
allow that to happen nowadays.
Yeah, that would never happen today. Like you can't
I heard that too.
hit Bailey's hand like that now.
Whoopi won for that, right?
She got
Maybe.
nominated for that.
She should
She got
have.
nominated.
That's
won
She should have won.
She
that's when you
won.
realize how important directors are. Like I made a film, right? Like my first short film,
Mhm.
and I didn't really like the performances that well. But I didn't truly understand that wasn't their responsibility. That's my responsibility as a director to get what I want on the day out of them. Like so, Steven Spielberg did a great job of getting what he wanted out of those girls.
Who
That was
the
his
director of
job.
this?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'm gonna guess a black woman.
probably. Okay. So yeah, Christmas was cool. Got some cologne, and and this is actually relevant. So one of my friends got me this Star Trek figurine. It's a Borg cube.
Cool.
Oh, that's what's up.
Listen, I hope y'all can hear it.
It's irrelevant. Self-determination is irrelevant. You must comply.
Self-determination is irrelevant.
Well, yeah, sure.
No, I just wondered, is that what they said? Self-determination is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Sounds like something the Borg would say.
Something the Borg would say. Yeah. But okay, so
What do you think is the probability of
there being temperature in space?
We're not doing that right now. I mean, I will go there, but we're not doing that right now.
Dang.
I have a step further that will totally like you'd be like, what are you talking about? We'll do that at the end.
Okay.
Like if you think about the probability of like aliens actually coming here,
Oh, I think they been came.
I feel like AI would be the most probable alien species that would come here.
Are you talking about like an AI species or the probability of AI being generated here on Earth first?
No, I mean an AI species from somewhere else.
Like the Borg.
Like the Borg, because they can go through the vastness of space for long periods of time. All they need to do is collect materials. Time wouldn't be as much of an essence for a problem for them as it is for us as human beings. Plus, we require biological forms require a lot just to just maintain every day.
Well, like Ursula K. Le Guin wrote in her various sci-fi books, I noticed it most in Ro Cannon's world. The idea of war is fast, peace takes time. That
Yeah.
if you in her space flight, human beings could not travel at faster than light speeds, but you could send warships with bombs when controlled by AI automatically, and they could go and bomb the hell out of whatever planet. But if you want to send colonists and food and medical supplies, that takes time.
And
Then,
a lot of effort and a lot of more energy is involved.
and when you think about how things are in our world today, it takes nothing for them to launch an ICBM or any other type of missile to bomb the hell out of what other place. But if you want to send food and people and medical supplies, it takes time to get it all together.
I don't
That-
see why this is we shouldn't be going into this,
Go ahead.
but I don't see why the UN, the United States, tells Israel, "Hey, we're driving some stuff in there with our troops." I don't want to see not one fucking missile hit any U.S. troops, or it's going to be a problem.
Well, they were trying to get in there by way of Egypt, and Egypt was the one stopping the aid going into Gaza.
Egypt, what? I thought it was Israel stopping him going in.
Well, I mean, Israel was stopping it too because they have the whole of the Gaza Strip surrounded. But Egypt, so the easiest way to get in was pro Egypt, and Egypt wasn't allowing it.
I think overall, the United States is kind of acting like some punks right now, and they're just bowing to whatever Israel wants to do.
I don't
someone
think
update
that's
me?
what they're doing at all. But
Can someone update me? Like, we're talking about what's going on in Israel.
yeah, Israel and Palestine, just the ongoing, the fallout from the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel that has led to a now war that is now expected to last several months. It's a very complicated issue, and there is multiple sides to this, and I've done my best to try not to stick to one because there's so much that's taken.
Yeah.
And Manny has a lot to say about this.
Yeah, I was just talking with, and
Is
that's
he
what
Palestinian? Is he Palestinian? Right. So what you have to understand, Will, is the Gaza Strip is actually located in Israel, which Israel controls Israel, and they also actually control the Gaza Strip, and they allow the Palestinians to live there under plenty of conditions and plenty of oversight and plenty of whatever. And it has been called the largest prison in the country because in the confines it's pretty much like 3 million
in the
people.
world.
I mean, I'm sorry, in the world, yeah. 3 million people that live there, but they live there, and
Okay.
some people aren't happy with the way that the Israelis influence their power over the Palestinian people in the Gaza Strip.
Right.
And mainly the people in power, which is Hamas, which is technically democratically elected, but anyway, that's a whole other thing. So they attacked Israel because they didn't like the conditions that in Gaza, which is overseen by Israel. So they attacked Israel. And Israel went ham, and Israel's like, fuck that, because Israel has way more military capabilities than they do. They're more of a guerrilla tactic sort of
I was gonna say
regime.
this with Israel and the Middle East has been going on literally ever since Jesus left, on and off.
Well, you're talking about Holy Land, right?
Yeah.
And
we're
you're talking about God. And this has
been
been a struggle. The land has been a struggle between the Muslims and the Jews and the Christians, like it's for thousands of years.
Yeah.
The Christians,
over this piece of
gave
land.
up over this piece of land. Christians just like after a while gave up and just like, fine.
It's stupid. It's like, come on. It's like
it's stupid unless you feel like it's your right to have it. Just like you feel like it's your right to walk to the store. It's your right as an American to speak your mind. It's your they feel like that's their God-given right to actually have this land and to exist there. And after I want to say World War II, which we all know what happened in World War II, was the Holocaust.
Yes.
Basically, the UN designated Israel and said, "Okay, you guys can stay there." But at the time, all these other people were there. But we as Americans fully back Israel because I think it's because the Israelis are basically white people, but it's also way more democratic than the lands around it, like Iraq, Iran, and all that.
I think the Jewish community has a stronger hold here in America. I remember being told growing up that Jews typically run Hollywood, and not to mention if you're a Muslim, you're not very well. I mean, I don't know now, but especially after 9/11, you weren't very well liked.
Right. I guess they kind of. I mean, the Jewish people. See, I mean, I'll say this: there are a lot of Jews in Hollywood, but I don't have any information to say that the Jews have an organization that's saying we're going to run Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't have any information to say that. But you know, you look at Harvey Weinstein. You know, but like, so I don't personally like saying things like the Jews are this way, the Jews are that way. I don't like throwing
names like generalizations out there like that.
I don't, because it's just, for me, I think that's harmful, and that's stupid. That's what makes people angry. Sure, there are a lot of Jews in Hollywood, but the fact that I'm not in Hollywood has nothing to do with them. I didn't put my boots to the ground and get my ass out there. You know, and they also say Jews are money hungry.
Hey, there's that. And
there's a reason for that, though. There's a reason for that because the Jews have been prosecuted for some thousands of years now, and there was a time when the Jews could not own land, and they could not own stores, and they could not have certain businesses. They weren't allowed to do it, but through the loophole they could trade money. That's something they were able to do, just because they weren't able to do other things. So that became a thing amongst Jews, is to trade money, hold money, and bank money, and do that. So it's not just like Jews are money hungry beings and like, oh, they're money hungry. It's like, no, the world put them in a position where that seemed like the best thing for them to be profitable and successful, and they did that, and they kept that going. So why are you faulting them for that?
Right.
They're not Ferengi.
No, they're not Ferengi. I think how I describe the Ferengi to people who don't know Star Trek is the Ferengi before Rom took over were the Donald Trumps of the universe.
Before Rom, how do you right? How do you see that?
Well, because we saw, you were watching it with us. We saw Ferenginar post Rom's succession. You know, like we saw him and Lita running stuff, and they still have the Ferengi ways. They didn't change the culture of being a Ferengi, but as far as how they conduct things financially, they don't really purposely scam people like they used to. They don't really. They did away with the whole women not wearing clothing. They took away that.
I wouldn't have did away with that.
They probably did that first. Like
actually, most people look better with their clothes on than they do with their clothes off.
I'm serious.
You ever go to like a water park? You realize that, like,
yeah, I'm sitting here going like, I don't even want to remember actually. Like it spooked me as a kid. It spooks me as an adult. Like I don't know. That's why, guy, the only way you'll catch me without a shirt on is if I'm actually in the water. That's it.
Right.
And that's a big if.
Keith saying, hey.
Who said hey? Oh, hey.
Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. So, yeah. What were we talking about again, JC?
We just missed the whole talk of Palestinians and Jews. We didn't.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. But,
this was about Star Trek, isn't it? I forgot all about
considering the list of things to talk about on tonight's episode, nowhere on that was
nowhere on that. So I'm pretty sure we covered global news just fine. Now let's jump into Trek news.
My mother also lives in Israel. Just so you know.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. What?
My mother lives in Israel.
Your mother lives in Israel.
My biological mother.
May I ask how?
You said ask how?
May I ask how?
She
I don't
moved
know what
over
that.
there, man.
I don't know
She
what that
moved
means.
over
I don't know what ask how means.
Ask
Not ask
how.
Ask how.
Oh, ask how. Oh, and
He
then
doesn't understand the concept of someone living somewhere.
right.
Why is your mom in Israel?
The Holy Land. That's where everybody wants to live. Who is holy? That is.
Except
Okay.
for Catholics. Okay.
Okay.
But she's okay if you wonder.
Good.
And
All
of
right.
course,
So
the
what's
big
up, Keith?
news. The big news since last episode. William, what happened to your hair?
I guess we can count that as news.
You said that in a bad way. It's not. It's not bad. So.
No.
It's not. No, he knows. Of course not. Like,
Yeah.
so basically, long story short, I'm very terrible at maintaining my hair. I'm terrible at it. And so whenever I don't take care of it long enough, and I sometimes sleep without my bonnet, I forget to comb it out, I forget to wash it, I forget to whatever I forget to do. I do something once every 3 or 4 days when I should be taking care of it consistently every day. I'm terrible at it. And whenever I do comb it out, and of course I get it wet and stuff, put conditioner in it. Yeah, it helps and it doesn't hurt, but wads of hair would come out with it. And so I got sick of it. And so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna bite the bullet and I'm gonna do it. And I'm very stubborn about hairstyles. That's one thing about me. That's one that I've noticed about me. I'm stubborn about hairstyles because this is the first time I've ever had my hair braided in my life. Like ever. Now I've had twists, just to put on a mask or something for theater. I've gotten different hairstyles to match the time when I played in Little Shop of Horrors, and so we had the whole 1950s, early 60s look that black men had with the curl type. I did that, but as far as full on braids, I never did that. So I was worried that it was gonna stop right here, but when you braid it, it goes all the way down. It's if you pull on some parts of it, it's like more than a foot long. So that
it starts it up like Coolio.
I guess.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier to wash, it's easier to maintain, and it's so much. And so every 2 weeks I have to go get it rebraided so that way the hair will continue to grow. Yeah.
So here's the thing: you're gonna want to like clean it and wash it, but every time you do that, you're gonna degrade it. Like every time you wash a VHS tape, right? Every time you wash your hair, you're gonna degrade it. So you don't want to wash your hair as much as you usually wash it.
As much as I usually wash it.
Yeah, because it's gonna start frizzing out.
And then breaking apart. Yeah.
Every time you do it. So you want to watch it less. But and then you're gonna have to have it redone. But right before you have it redone, you should wash the whole freaking thing. Take it out, wash the whole thing, and then have it redone.
Right. And I do my best to condition it and oil the scalp, because it's like the dandruff is horrible, but not anymore because now I can get down to the core and just take care of it. But I had so much hair that I couldn't really get to certain parts, but now it's pretty okay. So
you put some Soul Glow on it.
So who?
Soul Glow.
What's that?
Oh man, Keith, did he really just?
He really just said that. What?
No, I don't know.
How do I know this and you don't?
I'm taking your black card. Keith, take his black card right now.
Oh, you're
closer to him than I am.
You are not. You are not taking my black card. I may be
south of the Mason-Dixon,
but you're not taking my black card.
No,
you're not taking. I am 100% oppressed. Like you're not taking my black card. I earned this.
Yeah, and plus, I'm not allowed.
First of all, we are not 100% oppressed.
That's right. I don't think so anyway.
Guess what, Call? I am not allowed to take someone's black card.
Oh yeah, I'll give you permission.
No, I don't care.
I think Keith could take my gay card if he wanted to.
I don't think he knows enough to take your gay card. Why would he take your gay card?
How many women have you kissed lately?
Right. How many women have you had sex with?
Zero. You're good. Yeah, same here. So we're good.
I can say one. I can say one for several years.
Good.
And I'm happy with that.
So she's your fiance, right?
Mm-hmm.
When did you propose? Yeah, I never did talk about that.
I proposed in Israel. in Israel
Damn.
in May
Oh. So when's the wedding?
2025.
Nice.
Summer.
After
We haven't,
everything is all done with.
we haven't locked the date yet.
Okay. Hopefully, after everything's all done, the Bell riots are done, the whole war and everything in the Middle East is finished, or at least put on pause. I would like to
It
go
got
to a
nothing to do
wedding.
with that. Got nothing to do with the
Good.
Middle East.
Good.
But like, yeah, I guess after the pandemic, people are booking up weddings very fast. Like
Yeah,
2024 is booked.
Mm.
You know, yeah.
that doesn't surprise me.
That's another thing I forgot to say that I did during the holidays. I covered a wedding.
You got married?
Oh well, no, I didn't. but one of my best friends did. Her name is Addie Neal. Now it's Addie Neal Gwaltney. I think that's how you pronounce her new last name.
Congratulations.
What do you mean by cover?
Well, I was the photographer.
Okay, yeah. You know,
Right.
I've done over 100 weddings in my life as a photographer and a videographer.
And that's another thing. So even though that I posted, y'all might have seen him, might not. I kind of doubt it. I posted Facebook ads for my business, right? For doing holiday shoots. Okay. Because it's just that time of the year. Now, even though I wish I would have gotten more clients for December for holiday shoots, the majority of the people that came through want to book for weddings next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a holiday ad. I mean, I'm not against it. Like, this is a holiday ad. They say, yeah, we know, but your page looks pretty cool and this looks professional. We were wondering, do you also do weddings? And I'm like, of course I do weddings. Of course. And so
but also offer engagement photos.
engagement photos. Yeah, for sure.
Seriously.
And that's last bit of news on my end. So that said, another client wants me to build his website, right? And so taking all that into account for 2024 and this, that, and the third, I went on ahead and built my business website in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you
which
build it
normally
on?
takes like a month. I used
What do you-
WordPress.
Okay.
I used WordPress. And I've built websites before, but now, and the reason I say that is because there's a page on there for Trekkers Delight, which I use this show as an example for podcasting, like about the possibilities of what you can do if you know how to do it, that is.
How do you track your data on your website, or do you?
So WordPress does it for me.
Yeah,
Like I look
WordPress
on
has a pretty good dashboard system.
Yeah, I was about to say it's on my dashboard and it tells me how many people visit it and where they go. Like, so it does that. And if it's a e-commerce website, WooCommerce does my tracking for sales just fine. Like,
Okay.
I don't have to set it for anything; it automatically does it.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, I done rambled on. So
I
what do we got?
wonder. We haven't seen a lot in Star Trek about how people get their hair done.
Well,
We
actually,
got some
We got
barbershop.
Barber on the Enterprise D.
We got a Bolian, right? A Bolian
Yeah,
hold on.
Mr. Mott.
doing.
Let me add it. Let me see here. Where is it? Let's see.
I do like they add that small little thing, but I think we should see more of that, like human thing about how are they. We don't know anything about the makeup they use. We don't know anything about like that.
I will say I don't know
Yeah.
anything about them. We know they wear makeup, but I don't know how we never seen a scene where they actually like put it on.
They never put on makeup ever. Deanna
Hmm.
Troy is just like made up all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, here it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, like on Next Generation, we definitely saw like Crusher and Troy going to bed with their hair just as it is, with their makeup just as it is. Yeah, like no.
Right, as it is. And I'm sitting here going like, come on, you are not waking up like a Disney princess. Come on.
That picture from Schisms, I want to say.
Yes, that's from
Mhm.
Schisms.
Oh yeah, that's the one where they were experimented on and they didn't know it.
Yeah,
Right.
he freaks out when the scissors get close to his head.
I think that's like a representation of like how we feel if like we were abducted by aliens and it's like Area 51 type stuff. Well, how does it feel if the aliens are abducted by aliens, right? Like
A hard table.
Yeah,
It
it's by far.
it
It's considered by far the freakiest episode of Next Generation. So
Really?
even freakier than the Evolution episode.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say the freakiest one. Well, I won't say
That Evolution episode wasn't freaky. It was just bad.
scary. I mean, TNG needed a scary episode.
When did those doors get so strong on that ship? I never remember them being that strong. They were
I
just,
don't remember
he was
that
just
way.
like
We never,
beating on that
saw
door.
people hitting
No.
on him before. I mean,
Let me tell you
You saw
something.
Will Riker get thrown through one pretty easily.
Let me tell you something. The scariest moment, and here's the thing, it's not even that scary, but to me, it terrified me, even as an adult, was in TNG when that woman was sucked into the floor and she became a part of the floor.
Oh, she was half the floor, yeah. Or
yeah,
she was
died
half
that
the
way.
floor.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like quantum stuff was passing through the ship.
that's
But
the
that
one.
wouldn't kill you fast. I don't think.
That's the problem. It didn't kill her fast. Like,
Well, we saw her. She was dead, but she was just kind of frozen there.
I'm just like, bro, that's like being beamed into a wall.
Would that kill you? Would that kill you at all? How much of her was
The
We
top
only
half
saw
of
her from the waist up.
right?
Yeah.
We didn't
I
see
guess-
it below.
I guess if the blood couldn't, if enough blood couldn't return to your heart, then you would die.
Of course, yeah, that's how it would happen. But I think the reason why she looked steel the way she did was because parts of the floor atomized in her body. Like, because she looks steel, perfectly steel.
It would have been nice if we saw her legs on the deck below, or you think there's a Jeffries tube between that?
Well,
You know
I
what?
don't know.
I saw that in As Above, So Below. It takes place in France. It's basically Dante's Inferno.
Mhm.
And one of those levels, it was like level 7 or some bullshit. I don't know. This dude got sucked into the ground and his legs were sticking up, which is one of the punishments of hell. Like your legs
sticking up.
with your legs sticking up, but you're alive, or at least your soul is alive. Is inside this ground area, and you're living through not breathing, not circulating, no blood, no heart rate, but you're like alive, and that's your eternal punishment. And so that's kind of what more my mind went when you said the legs stick up. Like,
I think eternal punishment is the dumbest thing that has ever been. The concept of it is just stupid.
By the way, shout out to Janeway for telling that devil alien to go to hell. Like we all knew who that was.
Wait, what double alien?
It was like this Voyager episode where this alien representation of the devil came and tried to take her.
Oh, and it was her father.
Yeah, it looked like her father. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
And I'm
I didn't care for that episode too much.
Yeah, I like that episode so much. Like, it was like, yeah.
One sec.
We can go into the news now, like for real. I'm surprised we made it past 30 minutes.
I'm not. You guys are just going all over the place. So, and
That's
I
what we
step
do.
away and yeah.
That's totally what we do. This is the way we do in Trekkers Delight. We'll just go in and then we'll just talk about random shit, and it just won't stop. Like, we don't care if there's like 1, 2. I think the most we had watching at one time was like 12, and that was like opening episodes for new seasons or season finales, like something big like that. That's what I'm thinking. So, what's new?
Hi.
Oh god, I can see Marie's face now. Like, William. William. All right.
Hi.
I'm sorry, Jason, you missed it. I'm gonna have to go back and pull that clip. That was funny.
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna be quiet.
Be quiet. Speak your mind. Somebody got to take this
I already
damn dog out.
I did for like 20 minutes. Like,
Oh, Keith, topic number 1. Let's go. 40 minutes in.
that's why I'm shutting up. As a matter of fact, hold on, let me do this.
See, this is what I get for asking about his hair, though.
That was 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so since it's the end of the year review, I did put together a timeline of what we had the year in Star Trek. So, of course, Prodigy Season 1 ended. The last episode aired on December 29th of 2022. So then we started the year with a little bit of a break for January, but we got Picard Season 3 starting on February 16th, The Next Generation. That went on till April 20th. Now, we originally were expecting on April 20th, the end of Picard season 3 would be the beginning of Discovery season 5. But then they announced on March 2nd that Star Trek Discovery was canceled and that season 5 would be its end. Originally, they had only taped 8 episodes, and so they went back and made changes to the final episode and filmed 2 additional episodes, and now that has been delayed until next April. So we have a whole year wait from when season 5 was originally supposed to air. So then we had a break, a long enough break that Discovery would have aired. On May 2nd, the Writers Guild went on strike, dealing with issues with AI, dealing with issues with residuals, the size of writers' rooms, dealing with just streaming services and such. And many Star Trek writers took to the picket lines. In fact, that very first Friday of the writers' strike, you had a Star Trek picket at Paramount Studios where you had representatives from every series of Star Trek there picketing. Both writers, actors, and crew all were there. There was a great picture that was shared out. Okay, then in June, we got Strange New World Season 2, started on June 15th with The Broken Circle. And that would last until August. But we got more bad news on June 23rd when they announced that Star Trek Prodigy had been canceled. Despite already being picked up for Season 2, they announced that it would now be canceled, and effective the 30th of June, Prodigy was removed from Paramount Plus. And of course, it was supposed to be airing on Nickelodeon as well. They removed it from Nickelodeon's airing schedule. Then July 14th, we had the beginning of the SAG-AFTRA strike, where the actors formally went on their own walk. You guys feel free to comment as I'm going through these. William, you don't have to be muted.
Well, I guess the only thing I was going to say, like when you're talking about Strange New World, I figured we should put some input about how we felt about Strange New World season 2. I know pretty sure we already did that at the end of season 2.
Right.
But like as a whole,
you lost William entirely now?
Are we feeling like we are in a golden age of Star Trek?
I felt that we were. 2022 was very high up there because we had Picard season 2, Strange New World season 1, Discovery season 4, Lower Deck season 3, and Prodigy season 1. We pretty much had back-to-back Star Trek for most of the year.
There's never been a time where you had this much Star Trek in one year. The only other time you had like the most amount of Star Trek was like end of TNG, beginning of DS9, and they had movies that were going.
And then end of DS9, beginning of Voyager, where you had the 2 years of overlap. Yeah. But even then, you're only getting at least, 23, 25 episodes in a given year?
Well, yeah. Well, you get more episodes than you have now.
Right. And each season was about 23 to 24 episodes, but some of them would be in the fall and some of them would be in the spring. But during the calendar year, you'd get 12 episodes of Deep Space Nine, 12 episodes of Voyager, and then the front half, the 10. So yeah, you'd get about 40 episodes.
Well, as far as
during those years, but
go ahead. Sorry.
But this year we got 10 episodes of Picard, 10 episodes of Strange New Worlds, 10 episodes of Lower Decks. So 30 episodes right there, spread throughout the year, so that they weren't right on top of each other. And it wasn't the same time. It wasn't there. It was well mixed throughout. Even though we did get the crossover episode between Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, it was pretty open. Like you didn't feel you needed to watch every show to keep up with everything.
Right, and I think they're doing a good job with like balance, making that balance where things do carry over, but you don't have to actually watch every episode.
And I think that's what I'm trying to hang on to, because it's like I know that a lot of things have happened, the strike and the cancellations left and right, but we're getting a lot more new track than to be expected. I guess for me, and I'm speaking on this positively because okay, I'm gonna bring up an age thing, but in a positive way. So back 80s, 90s, a lot of people enjoyed having so many. It's kind of like what he said, having so many episodes of Star Trek. Now I understand that it was one show at a time, and they're not as almost overlapping as what we have today, but at least one season wasn't 10 episodes. It was like 24, 25, 26.
Right.
And that's what I was really hoping. But I choose actively to look at it positively. It's like, okay, but we're getting like 3 shows a year. Like,
Yeah, but the thing that's different is that we aren't getting any overlap. We have 5 new shows,
right.
but we're not getting any overlap.
Mhm.
Maybe from Lower Decks we're getting some overlap.
Well,
Yeah.
But we're not
1 or
getting
2
because when you went from TNG to DS9, you had the overlap of the same universe in the same space, right?
right. Like
Uh,
the final 2 seasons of Next Generation were concurrent to the first 2 seasons of Deep Space Nine. Now,
Exactly.
Deep Space Nine started mid-year. It started at the beginning of 1993 rather than
But canonically, it's the last 2 seasons.
yeah.
But
And
now the Discovery and Strange New Worlds are just far apart, as well as Prodigy. Nothing's actually overlapping as far as timeline.
well, just if we were doing this show in the 90s for 4 seasons straight, we would have to do 4 years straight. We would have to do 2 episodes a week during the traditional TV season. You know, the September to May, because we would have season 6, season 7 of Next Generation, and season 1 and season 2 of Deep Space Nine coming out the same weeks. And then, of course, you had season 6, season 7 of Deep Space Nine with season 1, season 2 of Voyager coming out the same weeks. So, and then it wasn't until Voyager ended, then we got a break before Enterprise came out.
Right.
But for 2003, I did enjoy Strange New Worlds, even though I would like to see more Strange New Worlds
Mhm.
in the show. I really did enjoy Lower Decks. I kind of really like that show.
Yeah, season 4 really brought it home for me.
Yeah, they're pretty smart, and that's why I was really surprised when you brought your friend on, and he was not a a Trekkie, whatever those people call themselves.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, Jordan, I think is his name, right?
Jordan,
Yeah.
but he still enjoyed it. I was like, wow, okay, because part of the reason why I enjoy it is because they make so many references to everything else.
Yeah, and the reason he enjoyed it was because it's like, well, if it was season 1, he probably would have made a Rick and Morty reference, but this was like season 4, the beginning of season 4 at this point. So it had its own identity well established, right? But he enjoyed it just as is, and he may not have understood all the references, but he understood enough that he enjoyed the show, and I think that's like you're right. That does speak volumes for Star Trek.
Yeah. So Strange New World season 2 ended on August 10th. Then we only had a short break until Lower Decks season 4 came out on September 7th with Tuvix and the Return of Voyager.
Great episode, by the way.
Absolutely.
Was it called Tuvix?
Tuvix, yes.
It was
TWO.
Yeah.
Yeah, TWOVIX. Whereas the original episode was TUVIX. Then the very next day, September 8th, was Star Trek Day, the 57th anniversary of the release of the original series, the first episode of the original series, which was The Man Trap. And it was the 50th anniversary of the first episode of the animated series being released. So we had the animation celebration. Now, as far as typical Star Trek days over the past few years, this year was actually pretty weak. We got the animation celebration, which was great, and I was so great that I was able to go to the one here in DC. And they showed 4 episodes of Lower Decks, including the one that had aired the previous night, and they aired the first episode of the very short Treks, which ended up being a bit of a disappointment. Now, as we talked about the last episode, just real quick for William. You had mentioned you had saw a very short Trek that was basically just that one episode of Voyager. That what you saw was there is somebody that is recreating episodes of later Star Trek in animation, in the animated series style.
Right.
So they did it with Best of Both Worlds for Next Generation, and they did it with Threshold for Voyager. So that's what you saw. It wasn't a very short Trek.
It wasn't an actual very short Trek. No, that was me that was saying that, by the way.
That was you, Jason? I thought it was William said.
No, that was me that was saying that.
I might have referenced it, but Jason brought it up, I think.
Oh, okay, I apologize.
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Have we done a show on all the very short Treks?
No, we didn't really do one on it. We kind of covered it a little bit here and there, but we didn't do a full.
Because the very short Treks are like 2 minutes long.
No, they could be as long as 6 minutes.
How many are there?
6.
6.
I think we should do a show on that.
Absolutely. Of which one is good.
Yeah.
Because I only watched 2 of them so far. I need to watch the rest of them.
Yeah. But the one Holograms All the Way Down, written by friend of the show, Aaron Walke, is by far the best of the very short Treks.
Of course it is. He wrote it.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
I know.
Without knowing who wrote it, I consider it best. Okay, so we got that starting on September 8th, and it ran for the next 6 weeks after that. Then we got good news on September 27th with the end of the Writers Guild strike. But of course, the SAG-AFTRA strike continued. On November 2nd, we got the end of Lower Decks Season 4. But before we got to November 2nd, we got some good news. On October 11th, Prodigy was saved, as they officially announced that Netflix had picked up Prodigy to get Season 1 and to air Season 2. Since then, we've gotten more announcements on, of course, Season 1 is now completely available as of Christmas Day, this past Monday, December 25th. You can now watch all of Season 1 of Prodigy on Netflix. And apparently it is in the top 10 of kids shows on Netflix for the week.
Good.
So it's doing great for being newly released on Netflix. And the Hageman brothers who run the show are talking about the fact that they want 7 seasons of Prodigy. They want to keep going with this. So they've got Season 2 already. In the post-production is done. They're looking to release that, I believe. No, they haven't given a time period for when that will be out. But they're hopeful that it gets as many seasons as 90s Trek did.
Good.
Yeah. And then, of course, we had the SAG-AFTRA strike ended on November 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, 2 weeks ago, we got the announcement of Discovery will be returning in April of 2024 for Season 5. So that's what we know right now. We can expect Strange New Worlds is now in production for Season 3, but we actually see it in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
The Section 31 movie has completed pre-production. We'll start full production in January, and we're hoping to see that by the end of 24. And I'm frozen, aren't I?
No, you're not.
Nope.
You were for like 2 seconds, and then you unfroze.
Okay, you guys were frozen, so when that happens, that usually means I'm frozen.
Oh my god, that reminds me of that scene. It was damn it, it was a TNG episode when they were in the shuttlecraft, and what was it, Timescape?
Oh, Timescapes. Yes, I love that episode.
Oh man,
where they're in the runabout. Yeah.
Yes, that one right there. Like first they froze, and then Deanna froze, and like that's literally what it's like to be in a webinar.
Yeah, that one was great.
It was so good.
I like Timescape.
Yeah, really there's some excellent memes came out of that episode too. So
oh man, it's like if you want to know about prejudging people, you should watch that episode.
Oh,
that's a good one. Like a very good.
It's the only appearance of a runabout on Next Generation.
I was wondering about that because they used a similar shot they used in Deep Space Nine. I think
the runabouts are the only shuttle you see on Deep Space Nine, but we only ever see the control area at the front of the runabout in Deep Space Nine. In the one episode, The Next Generation, we saw the back half of the
finally because that's a big ship. Like,
yeah,
I have an episode that you shouldn't watch.
Of course,
I don't know what it's called, but inside in the episode they say Insaka.
Huh?
Insaka.
Oh, masks from
Masks.
Yeah,
oh,
terrible.
the data episode where he's like being taken over by an ancient.
Yeah.
First of all, they should have got rid of Data a long time ago. This dude has caused so many problems on the ship.
Yeah,
Eh, eh,
season 7 of Next Generation pretty much got to a point where it's like, anybody got an idea? Yeah, let's go with it. What the crew devolves? Yeah, let's go with it. What Picard suddenly has a son? Yeah, let's go with it.
yeah,
What the computer it gains sentience and creates some sort of Microsoft screensaver on the holodeck? Yeah, let's go with it.
sure.
That was funny because that was a popular screensaver on Windows 3.1 of the tubes going around, and then the sentience of the Enterprise computer was tubes.
But I think that's one thing they should have on Star Trek that they don't is a species of people who is spacefaring, but is completely run by artificial intelligence.
I think we've seen a few of those.
We've
on Star
seen
Trek.
some
Like who?
the hierarchy from Voyager,
Yeah.
the potato-like guys who
Right.
I'm
They
pretty
put-
sure we've seen one or two of them in Enterprise too.
No, but like, are you talking about the guys that they put this stuff in the machine and they get back the information?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's AI or is that like?
Well, the machine that was helping the Ocampans, that was an AI machine.
Not really.
I mean,
No,
No,
well,
that's
yeah,
caretaker.
that was the caretaker.
The
Yes,
caretaker.
okay.
No, the closest thing we've seen to an AI species definitely is the Borg.
that's
And then
only-
the two factions of
Well-
droids that were going up against each other that convinced B'Elanna to help them.
Oh yeah. But we also had in the original series the Taste of Armageddon, where you had the two peoples that were at war at each other, but they weren't actually at war. Like they wouldn't actually fire bombs. They would just say that this area had been hit, and anybody in that area had to go to the chamber to have themselves disintegrated.
This doesn't.
Oh yeah, yeah.
There was one Enterprise episode
that
that,
was,
I
that,
really
was a TOS episode.
and there was an Enterprise episode where they weren't spacefaring per se, more like space hovering, where it was a station, it was a space repair station, and it was ran by AI but they would kidnap the brightest mind on the ship, and
Well, someone
I don't
from
know
the
about the
ship
brightest
part
mind.
of the computer core.
You think Travis was the brightest mind on the ship?
hey, if you want to know everything the ins and outs about that ship, the helmsman always knows everything about the ship. Like they know, they may not know. Like, here's the thing, they chose him for a reason. And I'm not
Right.
saying he's the smartest guy, but I'm sorry.
I mean,
as
at
far as-
least Paris actually had a curiosity about ship propulsions and things like that, which led him into engineering. I don't feel like Travis had that.
yeah. Why do you think they chose Travis over to Paul?
I think he was just there.
Oh,
I think where he was.
It's just a case of when you consider all the crewmen on Enterprise and the cast members, who was sort of the one that they could technically afford to lose. Because remember they thought he died
Right.
because
First of all-
the space station created a duplicate of him.
Travis is my least favorite character. I'm sorry, my brother. I love you.
Oh, no, he's universally considered the worst character
At
on
least
Enterprise.
why? What did he
My
do?
least favorite character on
Very
the show.
little.
Very little,
mean-
and his expressions. I didn't like his acting on the
Ve-
show.
Very poorly written, very underdeveloped. He
It was
only
like the
had
hardest
a
one.
handful of episodes where he had a storyline.
And his smile was just like, "Why are you smiling like that, dude?" Like,
I mean,
Pull
he
it
had
back
that one
a little bit.
episode where he went back and visited his family
So
on the Orion.
basically, they did him like they did Uhura.
Worse.
Ooh.
worse. Uhura is very more prominent in my mind than.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
Because they didn't give Uhura anything other than.
I didn't like the way
completely
he.
different style of show.
Yep.
I mean,
Different style of
Yeah,
show, but I didn't like the way he. I didn't like his acting as. I didn't like his acting.
was
I'll
this
admit,
ever- Go ahead.
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you either.
how about now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I remember only one, other than the space station one. I only remember one Travis episode, and that was when we learned about his family
Yeah.
and
right.
the
Right.
ship, and then that's it.
Yep.
So they like run gear back and forth on slower ships.
we learn more about Trip.
Oh, of course, he's a
and
main.
the-
He's the. I yeah.
Yeah.
You had the key three who were
Yeah,
the
you
main.
pick your three exactly. You pick your three.
You had Trip, Archer, T'Pol,
yeah,
and
those are the
then
main three.
then you had the rest of the bridge crew: Reed, Sato, and Mayweather.
Mhm.
But Reed and Sato got way more to do
A
than
lot
Mayweather
more.
did.
But I just didn't like Mayweather's acting. I just didn't like it. Sorry. Maybe that's why I didn't give him more stuff because I didn't think he could handle it.
It's possible, but to try to compare him to Uhura, you can't do it because
No.
original series,
it's a-
every episode had one storyline. You had from the beginning to the end, you followed one storyline. You would not see in some episodes, you wouldn't see a Sulu or Uhura Chekhov because
right.
they wasn't didn't matter to that storyline. They weren't there.
You didn't have a beat. You didn't have a beeline.
Yeah, it wasn't until Next Generation that we got B stories,
Right.
and that's when you were able to have your ensemble cast play
Mhm.
bigger parts. And of course, when
Okay.
you have 24 episodes a season, you could have A, B, and C stories because you have more time and you can fill out a lot and get into a character's backstory, which they hardly ever did in the original series.
Mm.
Like there was references to, I mean, we got one episode really about Spock's background. We got a couple episodes about Kirk's. We got one episode about McCoy's.
I wonder what in the Man Trap those guys. I just wonder what their society is like. What they do all freaking day.
What the salt creatures?
No, the Man Trap.
Yeah, the salt creatures.
The dudes with the big heads.
No, that you mean the Telosians?
The
On
Yeah,
the
Telosians.
big
are you
cage.
talking about the original aliens from the
Yeah.
from the first and the
No,
Ma-
Man Trap.
Menagerie?
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't the Man Trap.
No, the Man Trap was the salt creature in M113.
Okay, I'm wrong now. I'm in the Telosians. Like, what do they
Yeah.
do all day? I don't
As
know.
far
I
as we
mean,
can tell, it's
from what I've seen, they just watch the people that they have.
Yeah, sure.
They just watch.
Yep.
Like I don't even think they have gender.
yeah. But they had there was an episode of shoot, what's the Seth MacFarlane show?
Mm-hmm.
Orville.
Orville.
Yeah, they did an episode of the Orville where you had him and his ex getting kidnapped by this alien species and put in a zoo.
Yes, they did that.
That was
Yeah.
that was basically the cage. But instead of they were able to convince them to be released because they gave them basically all the episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians and
Right.
like, late 90s, early 2000s reality TV. They just gave them all the computer banks of that, and they just showed that all the time rather than have humans on display.
Is the Orville still on?
I was actually going up to that. Adrian Palicki, who played Kelly, the number two, the ex-wife and the first officer of the Orville, did an interview last week or 2 weeks ago where she was asked what's happening with the Orville, and because she started talking about it in the past tense. And so she pretty much said, we have not gotten word on it, but I've got to tell you, the way it went with season 3, I don't expect us making any more. Because what happened was season 2, they were effectively canceled. Fox got rid of them, kicked them off to Hulu, since at that time Fox owned half of Hulu with Disney, and then Disney bought Fox.
Dang.
But Orville got kicked to Hulu. Seth renamed the show, called it The Orville Origins, or not Origins.
Horizons.
Horizons, yeah. Wrote and directed every episode.
Whoa.
So it took more time to produce. It took more time to complete. And Seth wanted, just complete control. And basically he pissed off everybody in doing that. Now, it was great. It had some fantastic episodes over their 3 seasons. But they only produced 30 episodes across 6 years.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Orville
That's terrible.
is gone as far as anyone's concerned. I mean,
Just like SGU.
yeah. Well, poor SGU never got a chance.
Was that the last Stargate that came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just got
Stargate
better. It
Universe.
just got better and better. Like that last season, we just got better and better and better.
Well, it was only one season, but yeah, it built up so well, and it
Was
just
it only one season?
only one season.
I'm sure it was at least two, bro.
No, I'm pretty sure it was only one.
So when did SGU come out?
Oh,
Let me look.
early 90s.
Early
No.
90s?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Late 90s. Late 90s. You gotta
I
be
was
late
gonna
90s.
say I could have sworn we had a show in the early 2000s.
2009.
That's what I thought. That's what I
Stargate
thought.
Universe.
That's when
Okay.
the first. You said Stargate Universe or just Stargate
SG
period?
SGU.
Oh, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
I was wrong. It was 2 seasons. It
Okay.
lasted from 2009 to 2011.
So they tried to come out as same as the new Star Trek did.
Right. Well, no, they had been ongoing from the movie was 1994.
Mhm,
SG1 started in 1997
mhm.
and ran until 2007. So 10 years. Well, 10 years, but how many seasons? Yeah, 10 seasons of SG1.
Mhm.
Then you had Atlantis, which ran from 2004 to 2009,
Right.
5 seasons. And then you had Universe, 2 seasons. Then in 2018, they tried to do Stargate Origins. That only lasted 1 season.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's where they are now.
Mhm.
I mean, they've done movies and made for TV movies, but we lost Jason.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pull him back as soon as he comes back. But
Well,
honestly,
we're
oh,
over
there
an
he is.
hour now for.
Yeah, we're well over an hour now. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
I'd say we did pretty good. Like we always do. Like,
Well, 40 minutes until we actually got to what we were on the
Talking about.
why do we always do that?
You're the host. It's your problem.
Yeah, you sure right. You
Okay, so real quick,
right.
favorite Star Trek thing that
Okay.
happened this year,
Okay.
and then one thing you want to see next year.
I think that's fair. Okay.
Okay, Jason.
Oh
Mhm.
shit.
Okay,
I enjoyed seeing the Lower Decks crossover. That was
Oh.
pretty cool.
Very good.
I mean, there were several things that happened in Strange New Worlds that I enjoyed. What I want to see next year, I mean, I just want to be open. Like I'm not saying, like I said with Strange New Worlds, I would like to see them explore more Strange New Worlds. More first contacts. That's what I want to see with Strange New Worlds. I always like the way that Lower Decks is going, and I don't have anything that I want them to do differently. Like I enjoy. I will say I don't like that everybody got promoted because I like them staying Lower Decks.
well, there's still Lower Decks. It's just
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
lowest.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. What's up with you, Will?
So the highlight, I have 2 highlights, one in Trek and one outside of Trek. Even in this period that I was going through, seeing this scene almost made me quit my job because it was that good.
What's
Like,
thing?
not the last episode of Picard, the last generation, but the Vox episode when they brought the Enterprise D back and seeing everyone for like one last ride. It's kind of like there was this scene that I saw in a Tyler Perry play, it's a Medea play called Class Reunion, and Medea said something. She said, "I wish all of the original artists and musicians would come back and do one more album." And to me, this was my one more album because I've never got to see. You got to understand, I was not around I was around for the films, but I was not, and I enjoyed the films. I remember the films when they came out, but I was never around for TNG. I was not. So I'm sorry, but so to see this made me feel like,
But you watched it. But you watched it.
well, that's watching it, but I wasn't there as it was coming out. And
Right.
so
Remember, he was born right before Generations came out.
literally the same year, 94. And so
Wow.
seeing this band come back together for one more made me scream because now I'm a Trekkie, sure, but now I feel like a Trekkie for real. Now I feel like I really joined the club. Like now I feel like I'm here.
All
Like
right, and what's your non-Star Trek thing?
meeting Jonathan Frakes was great.
Well, that's a Star Trek thing too.
Oh,
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, like, well, yeah, for sure. William Shatner, he didn't talk; he was just there.
That's the shot.
That's the chat.
I met William Shatner. I met William Shatner, and I was gonna say something to him, but I have this thing about I meet a lot of celebrities. Now I don't want to be that guy usually on set. Just like, hey, I want to talk to you, whatever.
Yeah.
But he spoke about this show that he did, episode that he did, where it was like a half man, half black person.
Yeah,
And he
that
spoke
be your
about-
last battlefield.
Yeah, he spoke about it.
Now, as far as
I never hear him say anything about the craziest, most important thing about that episode and those people is that every time they look in the mirror, they see the enemy. And I think that's aesthetically profound, like to the development of who they are. Like, could you imagine like all your enemies look like this, but every time you look in the mirror, that's what you see is the enemy.
Yep. So, William, what do you want to see in 2024?
I'm kind of on board with Jason. It's like it's really hard to say, but for a different reason. Mainly because, well, we can't know what's gonna happen. Like we never know what's truly gonna happen. But my hope for Star Trek in 2024 is that now that the strike is over, and we got more new Trek coming out next year. I just want them to get it together. Just get it together. Like, please. Like, I'm already kind of hurt that this is going to be the last we'll see of Discovery.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty hurt about
it-
that too.
and I
I
hate.
feel like it's a flagship.
Yes, it
Well,
is. the
it is.
flagship.
It is.
It is.
Exactly. Yes.
It is. And it's like I kind of feel bad now because I remember speaking out against everyone, blaming everyone for the cancellation of Enterprise. And now here we are with Discovery. And now I'm just like, oh my God.
Well, it's
First
getting
of all-
one more season than Enterprise did, but not as many episodes.
Right.
First of all, because Enterprise last season was fucking great.
Yeah.
And it could have gone on to do something so much
right.
better.
And Discovery for the last, at least I feel for the last maybe two seasons, was found its footing. It
Mhm.
was here. It found its
I think
identity.
Season 4 came together so well.
It did.
I mean, season
so
3,
good.
you had the burn. So
Yes. You know what? I got one hope. I would like, and I pray that they do this. I pray it would end it on a good note. Hell, make it the season finale if you can. We know that in the 32nd century that the copy of the Doctor's EMH is still out there in the Delta Quadrant, or
be
at
nice.
least on the way home.
It'd be nice.
I would love to see him back one
well,
more time.
we know we have him in Prodigy season 2 for the
Yes.
entire season.
Yes.
So
Which is
that's
wonderful.
good to know.
I
Yeah.
hope that Michael Burnham has a different hairstyle. Than
Well, you know
Braids.
she will.
You know,
Part
she-
of it.
yeah.
I
Or
feel
di-
like braids is. I feel like the braids was so lazy. Braids is what black women do when they go on vacation, so they don't have to deal with their hair. I feel like the braids was like lazy, and they had. Honestly, I like her hair the best on the first episode.
When it was the
I
straight.
don't know.
Yeah,
I think I kind of we did a episode, well, back when Robin was with us. We did a episode about different hairstyles, and that was the first time I've ever seen a woman of color with braids on Star Trek. That was in the captain's seat. Right.
Okay.
yeah. Well, that's first. You haven't seen many black women in the captain's seat, first of all.
True.
Oh,
Yeah.
You've seen- That's like number two. Number two, I want to say.
No, we have more than that.
Yeah, more
I
than
think
that.
the first black captain we've seen was Geordie's mom, right?
No.
First,
It was
first one we saw was Eddie Murphy's mother on Coming to America. With
the
the-
yeah,
The-
that actress, yes. But yeah, the captain of the Saratoga at the beginning of Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, the first Starfleet ship to come upon the probe.
Right.
It was a Miranda class ship like the Reliant, but
Okay.
but we did see a couple other black female captains before. But yeah,
Yeah.
Of course,
I think-
if you don't know Soul Glow, you don't know what I'm talking about.
yeah. So, dude,
Sorry. I'm
I
not.
get a turn, or are you gonna just shut off again?
I'm not.
I didn't get to talk about the holiday. I didn't get to talk.
I was doing
My
that for
job
Jason.
is
I'm
just
sorry.
the news list. Just tell me my job is just the news list.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dude.
Sorry.
Your job is whatever we can do. We do have to wrap it up around an hour
Yes,
15 though.
Yes, I know it. I've been trying to bring us to a close, and yeah, we keep going on tangents again. So might as well just end it now because I'm pissed off. So just end it now. Go.
All right. See you guys. Wait, Jason, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you being right now? I gotta know.
I'm serious, dude. You got
Like 10 out of
I'm
10
100%
serious, or picking on Michael serious? Which one?
There is no temperature in space. It's not cold.
Yes, there it is.
What are you serious?
Okay, wait.
Who is this? Oh dear God! It just
It's
got
because you
better.
said his name.
Welcome to the party, Michael.
No, that is not how we're gonna end the episode
No.
because Keith
No.
actually has like a legitimate news update. He knows shit, and we should possibly like convey that knowledge.
That's my favorite line. He knows shit.
It's just like a black and red mound. It's like,
Why are you describing yourself?
what the hell?
Hello from man.
Hey, Virgil.
Hey,
Hey, Virgil.
welcome.
Hello, Virgil. Welcome. Who are you?
Who?